We are hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. Yesterday we heard that Parikshit Maharaj wanted to kill Kali Maharaj, and Kali Maharaj at that time he took off his false cloth as a king, because that was cheating only. In the form of king he was presenting but doing wrong activities. So now he was I don't know what is the English word. In Slovenian language it is raskrinkan. Means it was shown the actual reality. I don't know the word. So when the personality of Kali understood that the king was willing to kill him, he at once abandoned the dress of a king and under pressure of fear completely surrendered to him, bowing his head. Because Parikshit Maharaj was powerful, he was empowered by Krishna and his devotees to do this. So Kali Maharaj could be subdued. And he understood that he cannot fight with him. As we heard from Srila Bhaktivedanta Puri Maharaj on that day, he said, Parikshit Maharaj told him, Krishna left, but now I am here, so you cannot do these things. Patitam padayor virah kripaya dinavatsala sharanyo navadi shlokya aha chedam hasan iva. Maharaj Parikshit, who was qualified to accept surrender and worthy of being sung in history, did not kill the poor surrendered and fallen Kali, but smiled compassionately, for he was kind to the poor. This is the nature of Kshatriya. If someone will surrender, then he will not unnecessarily kill. He will give him protection. So he was kind and compassionate. After he surrendered, Rajovach, Nate Gura Kesha Yasho Dharanam Bhadanjaler Vai Bhayam Asti Kinchit Na Vartitavyam Bhavata Katanchana Kshetre Madhyatvam Adharma Bandhu. The king thus said, we have inherited the fame of Arjuna. Therefore, since you have surrendered yourself with folded hands, you need not fear for your life. But you cannot remain in my kingdom, for you are the friend of irreligion. Tvam vartamanam naradeva deheshu anu pravrito yam adharma puga lobhon nritam chauryam anaryam amho jeshta chamaya kalahascha damba. If the personality of Kali, irreligion, is allowed to act as a man-god or an executive head, certainly irreligious principles like greed, falsehood, robbery, incivility, treachery, misfortune, cheating, quarrel, and vanity will abound. We can practically see this nowadays. Here Sai Maharaj explained, but in the age of Kali, the executive heads of state will be indifferent to such religious principles, which he mentioned before, cleanliness, truthfulness, austerity, and mercy. And therefore, under their patronage, the opponents of religious principles, such as greed, falsehood, cheating, and pilferi will naturally follow. And so there will be no meaning to propaganda crying to stop corruption in the state. We are saying, yes, stop corruption, but there is no meaning to it because this is naturally following. Because of not accepting religious principles and engaging in all these sinful things. So if mentality is there, then there is no use of saying, yes, you are corrupted, you stop this. He will go on doing because that tendency is there. Only when you can awake someone by the grace of Krishna so that he will understand that what he is doing is wrong and that there are bad reactions to these actions which he will have to get, then that person may change. Like in the case of Ratnakar, you remember, he was killing, robbing, doing all these things. Then one time, by great fortune, Narad came there and he told him, you are doing all these sinful activities, you will have to suffer for this. Then that Ratnakar said, no, I'm doing for my family. So they will share with my sins, so it will not be so great. Then Narad said, okay, you think so? You go and ask your family members whether they are ready to share your sinful reactions. He went, no one was ready. Wife said, no, when you married me in the Yagya, there it is said that half of your pious activities will go to me. Not sinful, so why I will take? And others also, no one wanted. Then he became afraid. He came back to Narad, afraid. Then he said, how I can be rescued? I know I did all these wrong things. Now I understand by your grace. So what I can do? Then Narad told, you have to chant the name of Rama. And he tried Ratnakar but could not. He was so sinful that it was impossible for him to even pronounce the name Rama. Then Narad saw, and Narad is a bona fide guru. He is always considering the situation, qualification, person, time, everything. They can devise a means by the grace of Krishna. So then Narad understood. Then he told him, okay, then you should chant the name Mara, which in Sanskrit means death. So then Ratnakar said, yes, this I can chant. I killed so many. So I can chant Mara, Mara, death, death, death. I can chant. Narad said, you have to continuously, you have to chant. Non-stop, you have to chant Mara, Mara, Mara. Then you can be rescued. Then Ratnakar was chanting Mara, 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 Mara. Then Ram name was coming. And by that Ram name, he was rescued from all sinful reactions. And not only that, he got liberation, but he also got devotion to Ramchandra because he was continuously chanting. And there in Padma Puran it is stated, if one committed offenses to Vishnu or even to holy name, if you commit offense to Vishnu, then if you chant the name, his name in regretfulness, then you will be rescued. But if you committed offense to the name, there is no other way than to, with surrender, you have to continuously chant. Continuously. So this is what he did. So his all those bad reactions went away and he got liberation, and he also got devotion to Ramchandra, And by chanting that name, Ram, all the transcendental qualities of Ramchandra, form, his abode, pastimes, everything was revealed in his heart automatically, without reading book. It was revealed by chanting the name, because everything is in the name, inside. But it has to manifest in a person who is inclined to serve, when his heart is purified. So then he wrote a Ramayana based on what he saw, all that lila. So he wrote Ramayana even before Ramachandra appeared in this world. Ramayana was already there. Then Ramachandra appeared and Sita, and then you know when Ramchandra, someone was speaking against him, so he had to banish Sita, although there was no fault in Ram or Sita, but because of king's duty to protect that proper dignity, he banished Sita. He told to Lakshman, you take Sita to Tapovan, because some time ago she said that she wants to see that Tapovan. So you take her there, like an excursion, then you leave her there. She will not understand. Until you reach there, she will not know. She will think I'm going to visit. But once you reach there, you give her up. So this is what Lakshman did, because it is the order of Ramchandra, and Sita understood. Then she came to the ashram of Valmiki. Valmiki is staying in Tapovan. And when she came, Valmiki already knew. Yes, I know. Why? Because already all Leela was revealed to him before. So he was now waiting when this will happen. So Sita came, and that time she was also pregnant with twins, Lab and Kush, Ramachandra's sons. So she gave birth there in that ashram, and they also learned Ramayana, and they came to know all this. So Valmiki, he already knew that Sita will come to his ashram before. How this is possible? Because that Ram Lila is eternal, it is going on, sometimes appearing in this world. So he knew and he wrote. How, but from what position? He was killing, robbing everything. But by the grace of pure devotee, he engaged himself in the service of Supreme Lord, and only by chanting the name purely under the guidance of bona fide Guru, he got everything. All revelation came to him. And another example is that hunter in the forest. One time Narad was passing there in Prayag, and he saw one rabbit was half killed and in pain and shot by arrow, and then he saw one deer half killed, and then he saw some other animals and birds also. So he was wondering, why is this? Who is doing this? So he was searching, and he saw that hunter, and there was some sound and animals ran away. So then that hunter became angry at first at Narad. Why you came here? Why you are scaring away animals? If you want something from me, you can tell, I will give you, but don't scare away my animals. I have many deer skin, because sadhus in ancient times, they will take kusha grass and then deer skin or tiger skin also on top. You will find in Gita also either deer skin or some cloth or something you have to put on kushagrass, asana. So he told, I can give you. Then Narad said, no, I did not come to beg these things from you, but I want to know, is it you that you are half killing these animals? Then he said, yes. Why? Then Narad said, okay, because it is your profession, you are a hunter, so that is sinful, but not so much because it is your profession, but why you are killing them halfway so that they suffer? You should kill them completely so that they will not suffer in this way, more extra. Then that Mrigari hunter said, then I'm not getting any happiness. When I see how they are suffering, our Gurudev told, it is in Chaitanya Charitamrita you will find. Up to the degree of their suffering, if they suffer more, that much I get more happiness. The more they suffer, more I get happiness. Seeing that. See what kind of nature. Tamogun, total tamogun. Tamogun is this, violence. And he's happy. Then Narad told him, but you will also have to suffer the same thing. As a reaction to this. And because Narad told him, then that because Narad is a realized soul, so there was an impact on him that he's speaking the truth, and it is a truth. It is in Shastra and it is a truth. For every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. So he then surrendered to Narad and asked him how I can be rescued. Is there any way? Then Narad said, yes, there is a way. First, you have to break your bow. You should not do this profession anymore. Then that Mrigari hunter asked then how I will survive. The Narad said, don't worry about this. I will send you everything. Don't worry. But you have to break this bow and you have to come together with your wife. You have to bring your wife to the forest, and by one small river, because that time rivers, they were pure water and human needs to drink water, and you should come and you make one hut, cottage, and one tulsi tree in front. You have to serve her, giving water, and also bow down to her, tulsi, and you have to chant Harinam. Both you and your wife have to chant Harinam continuously. Then you can be rescued. Then that hunter agreed, and he did exactly as Narad told him. We have to follow the instructions of Guru as he says. So what happened? They became sadhus, means devotees, and the news came to all the villages. You know, that hunter, he was very cruel hunter. And now he became a sadhu. This news came. How this is possible? They were all astonished, surprised, and they want to see whether it is true. And also, if he's now a sadhu, it is very good to take his darshan. And it is in nature, in India, when you go to some sadhu, then you should bring something to him, either fruits or rice or dal or ghee or something. You have to bring When you go to sadhu, that is natural. So everyone started to come to see this miracle, and they brought so many things. They were giving, and they were surviving. Then after 1 year, so they were chanting and taking prasad, what people were bringing automatically. Because Narad told, I will give you. So Krishna is fulfilling that. Whatever Guru says, bona fide Guru who is one with Krishna, what he says, that will be true. Like in the case of Prahlad, he said, God is also in this pillar. So to prove this word of Prahlad Maharaj, because Prahlad Maharaj really has such vision, so to prove that word, Nrsimha Bhagavan appeared from that pillar. Bol Nrsimha Bhagavan ki jai. The thing is, the Supreme Lord will always fulfill the word of his devotee. So here Narad said, don't worry about maintenance, I am giving you. So this arrangement was made. Then after 1 year, Narad said to his friend, Parvat Muni, I have one disciple there, I want to see how he is doing. If you want, you can come with me to see. They say, yes, I'm going. So they went. And when the hunter saw his Gurudev, Narad Goswami, he's coming, he stood up and was going there to receive his Gurudev. And while he was going towards Gurudev, he was very carefully walking that he will not step on any ant or any worm or insect or something. He was very carefully. And when he came near Gurudev, he spread one cloth, that chadar in front, and lying on that cloth, he gave dandavat to Gurudev so as not to harm any living entity which would be on the ground. First, he little moved with the cloth, and then he spread cloth so that it will be soft, that he will not. Then Parvat Muni was astonished. He's not wanting to harm even one single ant. He was astonished. Then he said, Narad, really you are Chintamani or Sparshamani. Sparshamani. That stone which can transfer iron into gold. So I see your grace. He was a hunter, cruel that much, but by your grace, now he does not want to harm even one ant. Really it is, you are really Sparshamani. You can change people. So in this way, it is only possible when some real devotee can change the tendency of some person from wrong activity to good activity, then it is possible that that person will not be corrupted anymore. But just by saying and giving some law and all these things, that tendency will be there still. It will not change. And it will be applied, that nature will be applied. Like our Gurudev told, on Ekadashi, people, they don't eat. They refrain from eating, but that does not mean that their desire for eating is removed. Or next day, they will eat double. Or before, they will take some more for the next day also, like this. So desire is not removed in that way. You have to get higher activity or higher taste to give up lower. So here Swami Maharaj is saying, there is no meaning to propaganda trying to stop corruption in the state. If someone does not accept religious principles, but how he will accept? He must be inspired to do so by some real example pure devotee, and pure devotee also can reveal to us that there is a reaction to our actions. They don't believe this, but it is there. So real devotee can show us this, and Shastra can show us, then they will consider it. Still there may be some weakness, but at least they will know that this is wrong, and they will try to check it, knowing that there will be bad result. But nowadays you see people, they think no, there is no karma, no this, no next life, nothing. You just have to enjoy as much as you can by stealing, cheating, everything. Somehow you try to avoid being legally punished, but you do. There is nothing. But there is, everyone will get their fruits. So here, Parikshit Maharaj told him, you cannot remain in my kingdom because you are a friend of irreligion. This thing will go on, and they are harmful for the people. How can I allow this? Na vartitavyam tat adharma bandho dharmena satena cha vartitavye brahma varta yatra yajanti yagyer yageshwaram yagya vitana vigya. Another example we have Jagai Madai, so sinful. The Chitraketu who is writing the sins, he said there is no end to list of their sins. We cannot find any end. But Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, they also changed them. And this, you will find this, they are doing killing, robbing, drinking alcohol, eating meat, all this sinful. But another thing is there also, you will find Mayavadis, they are not drinking alcohol, they are vegetarian, they are living very sattvic, not doing these things, but still they are sinful because their philosophy denies Supreme Lord, Forum, supremacy, all this. They think I am supreme. When I will realize that I am that Brahman, then I am supreme. So this is also one kind of sin, and also for this you have to get reaction. So this is even more difficult to change. Bhaktivinoda Thakur told, some sense enjoyer, by the grace of devotee, easily he can change. But one into whose heart once that Mayavad philosophy entered and got support by his ego, because everyone wants to be supreme and all this, so that is very difficult, but it is not impossible. We see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his devotees, he rescued Sarvam Bhattacharya. He was also changed. He was very sattvic. Then Sarvam Bhattacharya also said, what I was saying before that Chaitanya, Brahma, Atma, Brahman, all these things, now with this same mouth, I am chanting Krishna's name. This is all by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's grace. Before I was barking like a dog, but now my mouth has some usage because he's properly speaking Shastra and chanting name, and Prakashananda Saraswati in Varanasi. So by the grace of Supreme Lord or his pure devotee, jivas can change their nature. Therefore, O friend of irreligion, you do not deserve to remain in a place where experts perform sacrifices according to truth and religious principles for the satisfaction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yageshwar is Supreme Lord. So then you have so many different yagya, sacrifice. You will find in Gita also Krishna is telling different kinds. fire sacrifice, that offering that, but also this Nama Sankirtan is also Yagya. Sankirtan Yagya. So different kinds of sacrifices according to ages are prescribed according to eligibility of people, but their target is always satisfaction of Krishna. So in Kali Yuga, Harinam is the Yagya which has to be performed for the satisfaction of Krishna. In Bhagavatam that verse is there, Krishna Varnam Trisha Krishna Sangopanga Astra Parshadam Yagyer Sankirtana Prayer Janti his Sumedas something Sanskrit means that Supreme Lord will be worshipped in Kali Yuga. He is Krishna, but he is not black color. He's always speaking Krishna, and he's accompanied by his associates and weapons. Weapons means Harinam. And those who are very intelligent, Sumedasa, not only ordinary intelligence, but real intelligence, they will worship him Sankirtan Yagya, by Sankirtan Yagya. That has to be done in Kali Yuga. Nama Sankirtan. Here Swami Maharaj is telling, Lord Chaitanya preached this method of Yagya, and it is understood from this verse that the sacrificial of Sankirtan Yagya may be performed anywhere and everywhere in order to drive away the personality of Kali and save human society from falling prey to the influence of the age. But we have to do it sincerely, avoiding tenfold offenses. Then effect will be there. Yasmin Harir Bhagavan Ijyamana Ijyatma Murtir Yajatam Sham Tanoti Kaman Amoghan Stira Jangamanam Antar Bahir Vayur Ivaisha Atma. In all sacrificial ceremonies, although sometimes a demigod is worshipped, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is worshipped because he is the super soul of everyone and exists both inside and outside like the air. Thus, it is he only who awards all welfare to the worshipper. He is giving everything. Good result and results also to sinful activity. Everything is under the regulation of Krishna. Krishna is omniscient, he is everywhere, he knows everything what everyone is doing. We may try to hide, but he knows everything. So, and there is no mistake in his judgment, but he is all good. He is our friend. Suhrit Sarva Dehinam. He is friend to all, means he is their well-wisher. Then we will say, why them suffering is there? How this you can see as mercy? I explained yesterday, because we are unable to perceive as it is, that it is for our own good, to give us lesson that we are doing wrong. We did not want to hear Shastra and those who are experienced well-wishers. Still, we wanted to do wrong activities, so you have to get such results by which you will understand the reality of that action. So even that is the mercy of Krishna. Everything is the mercy of Krishna. He is taking care of everyone. We, marginal living entities, we are like his children. So he is trying to raise us up. But we want to do these nonsense activities, so we have to learn from them, and eventually we will realize and turn towards him. That is the purpose of all these things. And there is unlimited time. But the thing is, everything is inside Krishna. Nothing can go outside of his control. And he's all good. And he's giving the fruit. So he's taking care of everyone. Only we have to realize ourselves and then also to help others to realize that we should serve Krishna. That we have to realize. There is one question here in chat. I don't understand, if someone has profession like that, it is not considered sinful because of profession. It is less sinful, not that it is not sinful, but it is less sinful if he would do it only as a profession, because hunter also has some duty in society to do. When wild animals, they want to attack humans, he has to solve that. And another thing is, for this, in previous ages, now it is not necessary, like deer skin, tiger skin, they were used also in sacrifices and for asan and for all this. So this was their profession that they would do. But because it was their profession, like for Kshatriya to go hunting sometimes is not sinful, because Kshatriya has to be fit all the time. So if there is no war, he has to practice this archery. So for Kshatriya it is not sinful, but for any other, for Vaishya or for Shudra or for Brahmin, if he will go and kill some animal, it will be sinful for him, but not for Kshatriya. So everything depends on the Varna and Ashram, what is sinful. Like some little cheating also is not sinful for Vaishya in business. Always there is something. But for Brahmin to cheat with donations and like this, that is very sinful for him. So it depends. So hunter is also one kind of profession, which if someone will do it without extra violence, then it will not be. I can check how it is written in Chaitanya Charitamrita, how Narad Goswami explained to him that since it is your profession, it is not so much, but if you do this extra violence unnecessary, then it will be wrong. Or if Kshatriya will unnecessarily kill or rob people by taxes and like this, then it will be sinful. Or if Brahmin is very greedy, you give me donation, very big donation like this, then it will be sinful for him. That Varna Ashram Dharma, for every ashram and for every dharma there are, for every Varna and ashram there are duties and prohibitions related to their own. It is not same for all. Then if someone performs Varna Ashram Dharma, then he can gradually advance in raising his consciousness up to the point of Sattva, becoming Brahmin. Then he will study Veda. Then he will do these Vedic sacrifices. And then ultimate development is to become a Vaishnava, devotee of Krishna directly, directly worshipping him, Diti Forum and Shravan Kirtan and all this. That is supreme position a jiva can get to worship. So for Vaishnava also, he is actually, only he is without any sin, because he is properly engaged according to his eternal dharma. That Varna Ashram Dharma also is not fully, it is beneficial but still that false ego is there. I am Brahmin, I am Kshatriya, I am this. So when they will come to the platform of Gyan, that I am spirit, then they will give up that karma tyak, because there is also some impurity there. But for that level, it was necessary to advance. And Gyan also is pure. There is no false ego of this Triguna, but still they are not engaged in the service of Krishna. So some impurity is there also. That is why in Ajamil's topic, when Parikshit Maharaj was asking Shukadeva Goswami how one can be rescued from sins, then first karma, kant, purification came, and then Jnana kant, but Parikshit Maharaj, it is not complete. Then Shukadeva Goswami, yes, it is not fully complete. Only by surrendering to Supreme Lord and engaging in his service, that is complete purification, with no chance of coming again that sinful tendencies. And so Ajamil is a case, he chanted Narayan and he got liberation, Namabhas. Then later he also chanted pure name and went to Vaikuntha. When first he was liberated, but he was hearing the Vishnu Dutas, what they are speaking to Yamadutas about Supreme Lord. From them, Sadhu Sangha, he came to know about Supreme Lord. Then he went to Vishnu temple, after liberation, went to Vishnu temple and engaged himself in the worship of Vishnu for another 12 years, intentionally worshipping him, serving him. Then after 12 years, another airplane came with Vishnu Dutas and they took him to Vaikuntha. Another example we have, I told many times, it is in Padma Puran. Also today I was reminded of this, about that Gokarna and his brother. His brother was very sinful and he was killed by prostitutes ultimately. He became a ghost. Then Gokarna, his brother, he was a devotee, he did Shraddha ceremony in Gaya, where it is topmost place for this, and that Vishnu's lotus feet there and all the Shraddha, but still his brother was not rescued. He came to him as a ghost when he came home, and he told him, I was not rescued. Then Gokarna was surprised. Again he went to Brahmins. Then what I have to do? Is there any superior way of helping him? Then they said, no, we don't know. But you can ask Sangot. He's our object of worship, so you ask him. Then Gokarna prayed to Sangot, and Sangot said, yes, your brother can be rescued if he hears Srimad Bhagavatam for 7 days. Bhagavat Saptaha, he can be rescued. So Gokarna did 7 days and his brother was rescued. From Vaikuntha, airplane came and they took him. But then the others who were also listening, they asked why we were not taken. Then the Vishnu Duta said, because you were not attentively hearing and not thinking what you were hearing. So proper recitation and proper hearing of Bhagavatam has such power because it is devotion to Vishnu, to Supreme Lord. Devotion to Supreme Lord is the ultimate purification and total purification. That is why chanting of the name is prescribed, and Bhagavatam Shravan and all this, and Prasad, this is all devotion to Supreme Lord. So if someone engages himself and also others in the worship of Supreme Lord, that is the actual purification of all things. And this is one thing I had in mind but now slipped. So this is, yes, also today I was reminded, I remembered one thing. In 11th canto Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna says, Mad Bhakta Puja Bhyadiko. He told to Uddhava, when he was explaining, he said, worship of my devotee is superior to worship of me. Krishna himself is telling. Because Vaishnava is more dear to Krishna than Krishna is dear to himself. He told to Uddhava, neither Brahma is not so dear, nor Shiva, nor Lakshmi, not my brother, not even myself, as you are. You are my devotee, pure devotee, Uddhava. Krishna told. So service of Vaishnava is the topmost thing. Krishna will be most pleased. And it was shown in the case of Ambarish Maharaj also. Supreme Lord said, I am subordinate to my devotee. I am under their control. I cannot rescue you. Durvasa, you have to go to Ambarish Maharaj because compassion comes from the heart. And my heart is already at Ambarish. He stole my heart. I have no heart. It is in Ambarish's heart. So you have to go to him. Krishna did not want to rescue as long as that offense to Ambarish was there. So he had to go. And then he understood. So Vaishnava is that is most powerful. And we have one time Parvati asked Shiva, because she saw some are worshipping Brahma, some are worshipping Indra, some are worshipping. If one does 100 Ashwamedha Yagya, horse sacrifice, that is not easy thing to do. If one performs 100 Ashwamedha Yagya in his life, he can become Indra in Svarga. It is not so easy to attain that. And further upper, also it is stated in Shastra what one must do to attain those places. Like for Brahma Loka, you have to follow Varna Ashram Dharma perfectly for 100 lives. And I think Sannyas Dharma, even if I'm not wrong, Sannyas Dharma for 100 lives perfectly in Varna Ashram Dharma, then you can attain the position of Brahma. It is not so easy. It is stated in Shastra what kind of activities one must do. So, Parvati asked Shiva, whose worship is supreme? Shiva immediately, he said, Supreme Lord Vishnu's worship is supreme. Of all demigods and everything, Vishnu is supreme. Then Parvati was worried, but I am serving Shiva, so my worship is not highest. Then she asked, is there no any other higher worship than Vishnu? Then Shiva said, yes, there is. Tadyanam. To worship those who are related to Vishnu, means Vaishnavas. Then Parvati was happy. I'm worshipping Shiva. Shiva is a Vaishnava. Because he told Vishnu is supreme, he's a Vaishnava. So I'm worshipping Vaishnava. That is supreme. That is true. There is no other way better to satisfy Supreme Lord than to serve his devotees. It is impossible. Once also Gurudev told me, if he asked me, who is the original spiritual master? Then I said, Krishna. Then Gurudev said, yes, But at that time he had in mind, he said Gauranga Mahaprabhu. I said, yes, Gauranga Mahaprabhu, he's highest. So you should chant his name, Gaurahari. And you serve his devotees. Then he explained to me, if you find one mother with a child, mother has affection for the child. And she is doing everything for that child. So if someone comes and he serves that child, how mother will be pleased? She will be more pleased if you serve the child than if you serve her directly. More pleased. Like that, he said, if you serve devotees of Krishna, then Krishna will be pleased more. So, and that is the ultimate purification process. So that is the best. So here we heard, it is only he, means Supreme Lord, is giving the fruits of all actions, for yagyas, for sins, for everything. He's giving the fruit. So, and he's all good. And his judgment is without mistake. So we have no reason to worry. No one is outside of Krishna, and Krishna is all good. He's arranging for every jiva what is best for him, for his advancement. He knows what is best for him. And he's doing that for everyone. For gradual advancement towards understanding that we should completely surrender to Krishna. He's making all arrangement for all jivas. So there is no cause of worry. Krishna is there. He's everywhere. He's omnipotent. He's all good. So he's taking care of everyone. So tomorrow we will further hear.